Welcome back to the special presentation of Rune News. Joining me to talk about this is the man who brought my attention to this from the RuneScape Weekly studio, Magebit. Welcome.
Greetings, DX. Thank you for having me again.
Not a problem, mate. It's always good to have you on the show. I always let my special guests get a free plug-in in how people can tune in / watch RuneScape Weekly. So by all means, fire away.
Thank you. So you can find all of our content in a couple of locations. We have a YouTube channel, which is magebit.tv, and we also have our website, which is runeweek.com. You can find everything pretty much on our website, but those are our two addresses. We're also in the iTunes store if you want to subscribe to us through iTunes if you're an Apple person. And that's pretty much how you can aggregate our content.
And you got to listen to the podcast, people. It makes you think as you delve into the mind of a RuneScape player.
Maniac.
Or psychopath, depending on which way you want to look at it. But anyway. Alright, you ready to roll?
I am ready to kick this off.
Alright. What was your initial reaction to Jagex's introduction of Earn Rune coins to the Solomon's General Store?
The first time that I saw this, and before I even saw the word SuperSonic Ads, which I believe was in the initial article, but it wasn't right off the bat, the first thing that came to my mind was, okay, what are they up to this time? And I was very skeptical, which anyone should be, when something comes up with the prowess of earn. Like, earn when you're trying to get something that costs actual money, earn can be a little bit scary. So I was very skeptical and cautious, and then later on, once I discovered who was actually behind the project, then I was pretty offended.
Yeah, you're not the only one that was offended. I'm sure there was a lot of people out there who are smart like you and me that saw this and then thought this does not sound good, and when they clicked on it, and it's like, yeah, this doesn't look good at all.
Indeed, indeed.
After all the time you've been playing RuneScape, did you ever think that Jagex would have ever done something like this?
You know, honestly, I have to say that I really did not see myself uh, in this position over the course of how long I've been playing RuneScape. For instance, back in the early days when RuneScape came out in around 2001, RuneScape was completely free to play. Now, back then, there wasn't really a whole lot in the realm of pay-to-play MMORPGs in the mainstream, universe. And when Jagex introduced the idea of pay membership every month, I was blown away. And I think I've always been against the idea of shelling out money for a service like this, and I've kind of had to bend my paradigm as far as how the market works and kind of develop an understanding of this over time. However, it's come to a point where they have gone beyond just asking for support to make profit and develop a game. It's twisted into this kind of like almost greed. And so no, I mean, I never thought that they would get this greedy. I can understand them needing a monthly subscription from their members to release new content, every single week, almost without fail. But to introduce something along the lines of putting their users at risk like this in order to gain a cheap buck, I just feel like I don't feel like this is the Jagex that I, came to know and love over the past decade.
Yeah, well, you are a 10-year RuneScape veteran.
Indeed.
I'm actually myself. I'm an 8-year RuneScape veteran, so I can understand where you're coming from on that. But I wasn't around during its early days. I came in at 2006. So, do you think Jagex has gone one step too far with Supersonic Ads?
I would have to say that this is beyond one step too far. One step too far, in my opinion, was probably two steps back from where we are right now. Uh, when they began to offer items that were beyond just the application of cosmetic value into the Solomon's General Store, that is when I consider them to be going too far. This is just an egregious attack on everything we know and love of as you know as RuneScape as a community. This is unacceptable. Like I'm almost at a loss of words. Like I'm starting to find myself having trouble kind of cohesively thinking because it just my blood begins to boil when I think about the process that they're taking because I think about it and I'm like, what mindset do you have to be in to see yourself turning the kinds of profits that Jagex as a company is turning and saying, yes, this is a good idea. This is the solution that we need to bring in, more players and more money. Let's scam the crap out of the members that we already have by telling them that they can get something for nothing.
And now,
Like this is just beyond. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but oh, it just makes me angry.
now try not to avoid the breaky computer at least until after the interview.
I'll do my best.
You recently did a deep investigation into earned rune coins, which we are now seeing part of that investigation on the screen right now, and which I should say thank you for your permission to show this.
Absolutely.
What was going through your mind when you clicked on Folger's Gourmet Coffee and all those tracking cookies appeared from that one page alone?
First of all, when something like that happens, like uh, I'm used to having Ghostery installed in my browser, and it pops up on pretty much every web page because almost every web page on the internet has some form of analytics, whether it's Google Analytics or Quanticast or whatever. Every most every commercial website has some form of tracking built into the website so they can kind of figure out who their target audience is and all that fun stuff. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. If you go to that timestamp in my video, you will literally see the tracking cookies enumerate, and it will literally go off the screen. And it's not just off of my screen region. Now, mind you, like it ends on the screen region, it continues to go down the page and literally off of my monitor's capable viewing range, like down through the taskbar. It was mind blowing. Like I was laughing a little bit, but I was like I wasn't laughing because it was funny. I was laughing at the absurdity that one website could possibly need to report my information to so many different analytics companies. It's just absolutely disgusting to think that think of it this. Think of it like this. You go out into public and you're walking past, a company, and a bunch of like people come up to you at the same time, all with clipboards and surveys, and they're all yelling at you, asking if you have a few seconds to give them your time and just answer a few questions. What's your name? Where do you live? How old you are? And they're all just yelling at you at the same time. That's pretty much what happened. Like it's a terrible intrusion of privacy.
If I saw that many people come up to me and tried to ask me those same questions, man, I would have freaked out. I would have pulled out my hair and I would have ran across the border.
It's just absolutely ridiculous to think that anyone could need that much information on me. Ugh.
And what you see on the screen there, I watched this in real time when your video came out, and my jaw dropped. I was absolutely stunned. So that's how bad it was.
Yeah, I mean, the average person who visits or who either uses Ghostery or visits websites, maybe uses AdBlock Plus, you're gonna get like one or two pop-ups every now and then. To see that many is it's a red flag for anyone. That should alarm anyone.
Especially Jagex. When they see that, that should alarm Jagex as well.
Indeed.
Well, let's hope it does.